with the world just recovering from the 6-week-long trial between Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. Amber's lawyers seem to be traveling from one interview to the other, making several outrageous accusations and portraying Fox's confidence. Well, it seems enough is enough to Johnny's team, as they have stepped out of the shadows to face these claims that Amber's people have been circulating, and some of their stance might actually shock you. So, what exactly is the news on Johnny's team taking the front line? If you've seen Elaine's interview since the trial was ruled in Johnny's favor, you'd agree with me that she seemed unsure of herself for half the time, and the other half was spent on manufacturing lies or pointing fingers at everyone but themselves. And although we would generally agree that Amber's people are willing to hit below the belt, no one thought they'd actually take things this far. This is probably why Johnny Depp's team has also stepped right back into the spotlight to correct them on some of these wild claims they've been making. Only a few hours ago, the lawyers of the hour, Camille Vasquez and Ben Chu, appeared on their first TV interview since the trial wrapped up, and I must say, I can see from their charisma why they won. You see, one of the first things you'll notice about Camille and Ben in the interview is that they are actually confident and sure of themselves, and they repeatedly proved this in every aspect of the interview. And although they didn't throw accusations or point fingers, they still managed to show their superiority over Amber and her people, making points on issues related to the case. They talked about as little as Johnny's reaction to realizing he won the case, all the way up to some of the strategies that helped them win, and according to them, it wasn't nearly as difficult to beat Amber as you'd expect, given that she had already repeatedly changed her story on what happened during her marriage to Depp. Besides that, one of the parts that interested a lot of fans the most was when they spoke about some of the plans Amber and her people have been telling the world they have in the works, which is on them appealing the case due to their belief that it was foul play that landed Johnny the win, as opposed to the piles of evidence and the lies her client told. But we'll circle back to that. When they were asked what they had planned to tackle Amber's people's claim that they will be appealing the judgment, they remained as calm as ever and admitted that they weren't worried about Amber's people's plans. In fact, if anything, they seemed like they had the entire thing figured out, and the presenter basically helped them announce it to the world. Yep, while they were speaking on Amber's chances to appeal the verdict, he mentioned that they might actually have plans to waive the $10 million she's supposed to pay Depp in exchange for them saying goodbye to their rights to appeal the judgment either now or in future. Now, hearing about this plan, you might think it stems from desperation. But it's actually the opposite in this case, because this actually helps Amber more than it helps Johnny right now. The reason is that Amber doesn't actually have the $10 million she's supposed to pay Johnny in damages, which is the main basis for them even going to appeal the judgment in the first place. As such, if they are provided with an alternative to paying that money and closing all of this, chances are they'll take it. That aside, another reason why this would be a perfect solution for Amber's team is that appeals take time, and as such, if Amber's people actually file for appeal, it would probably drag on for several years, putting Amber's career in a stagnant position and further limiting the possibility of her being able to pay the huge debt she owes. This is in opposition to Depp, who has pretty much already gotten back on his feet, with fans buying his digital art and his signature perfume becoming the second most popular fragrance in the world. It's clear that Amber and her people are the only ones that have everything to lose in this, which is probably why Camille and Ben were oozing of confidence throughout the interview. Moving on to talking about their personal lives, Ben and Camille have also experienced major growth in their careers since Depp's win. Speaking on the subject,
what it was about for him.
Your life has changed a lot in the last several weeks. You got made partner this week. Congratulations.
Thank you very
Both
much.
of you have also become something of social media stars. How has it changed? What does it feel like?
It's been surreal and, if I'm being honest, a bit overwhelming. But if I can be an inspiration to young women that want to go to law school and study and work hard, then it was all worth it.
You made the choice to go to Virginia for this trial. How much of a difference did that make?
I think Virginia was a good venue for some legal and other reasons, and it has a fabulous court system, tremendous judges and fair juries, and I think the evidence was listened to carefully on both sides by the jury, and again, it came overwhelmingly in Johnny's favor.
they said, of course, their professionalism had social media going crazy, with several fans talking about them. One user wrote, "Ben Chu and Camille Vasquez were professional and handled everything with class. Thank you for setting the record straight about the facts and evidence of the case." Another user replied saying, "Exactly, their whole team acted like ladies and gentlemen, whereas the other team was completely the opposite. It doesn't take a lawyer to know that Depp's people have known what they were doing right from the start of the trial, and this interview proves that even further." Do you also think they were amazing on the interview? Tell us in the comments section.